I have controls. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. 1 second.
It's live.
Stuck. I found myself stuck. I just wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I had this great life. I had good friends. I had an awesome career. But there were a lot of things in my life that weren't exactly how I wanted them to be. I never was the kind of person I thought would get divorced, and I did. And I took it really hard. And I didn't know how to love myself enough to know what I was worth. Ultimately, there was something missing, and it was really deep rooted in my core. And I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I needed to find out. And I just reached a point where I said, this is enough. I wanted to find a journey that I could go on, that I would find self-love and self-acceptance. I made a post on Facebook, and I told everybody that I was embarking on this 90-day challenge where I was going to become a better version of myself, and that was it. I said it, and I was set. I'm that person who sees an infomercial at 2 in the morning and is like, I need one of those. Or I see a diet and I think that's my next quick fix. But really what it came down for me was one conversation. A conversation with Nina about shifting my life to make a big change, to be the kind of person I wanted to be. What is it in my life that I could do? What small thing can I do that if I change it could affect everything else? And I realized that for me to feel better, it starts with the morning. And so the very first thing I wanted to do in the morning was set up a routine for myself. And I was going to wake up at a certain time, and I was going to drink water when I got out of bed, and I was going to start to exercise. I created this sacred space in my home. I started journaling. I found a new standard for myself with relationships. And I found a new way of eating and health, and I lost 32 pounds. I mean, so many things shifted for me. I started to be more of the person I wanted to be versus who I thought everybody else wanted me to be, and it ultimately led to me kind of finding my true happiness. I think everybody wants to be happy, but are you happy? Are you doing the things to make yourself happy? When I decided I wanted to create this program and I met Nina, she asked me why I did this and why I wanted to share my story. And for me, I kind of felt like, how can I not? There's so many people out there who are not happy where they're at because they're stuck. And this program is designed to help coach people and guide them to a better way of living. We name this From Lost to Found, your 90-day journey to self-discovery and ultimate happiness. This program has been designed for you. It's been designed to help you figure out your most authentic self and go after it. We're here. We've created a 90-day coaching program that's going to help you figure out who you want to become and show you a path on how you're going to get there. This moment and this decision is all about you. It's about you going after the best life that you can. Imagine yourself running down a path, running towards your future self, who you want to become. You have that decision in you right now. We encourage you to sign up. Join us in taking the first step in changing your life. This 90 days doesn't just change 90 days. This 90 days changes the rest of your life.
Hey, wow, I am so motivated right now. Everybody, let's just give a nice warm welcome to Rachel Adams, a nice lab coat welcome to Rachel Adams. Rachel, I told you before that every time I watch that video, it just gets me.
You just want to go running down a beach.
Oh, I just want to go running on a beach in the sunset with the waves flashing on my feet. No, it's very inspirational. I love your story. But we're going to get more into Lost to Found in 90 days a little bit later on because we want to talk about you and your real estate career because it's gone from like 0 to 60 in 4 years. I mean, year one, 39 deals, year 2, 109, year 3, 123, and now you're one of the top 1,000 agents in the country on the Wall Street Journal, and 30 under 30. And your team, Atchison and Adams, is, what are your stats up in Sacramento? I mean,
we're top 1% in the county, and I mean, we're one of the top teams, and we do a lot of coaching and training within our community and county, and then also around the U.S. for KW.
Before we continue, can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
All right, good.
Our test earlier, if you guys could have seen it, was hilarious. We had to like take a leaf out of a table and move me closer. It was awesome.
Right. It was unbelievable. So anyway, listen, let's just get right into your real estate career first before we talk about the book. So tell us about how you started. I know your partner is Matt Atchison, who's an awesome guy. So talk about how you guys met and how things got started into the team that you have now.
Sure. So I got into real estate in 2012. I was actually full-time working for a real estate office, kind of a small boutique brokerage, and I was managing the office. And Matt came in there, and he actually got his license through the company I worked for. And he saw me, and he's like, Rach, what are you doing behind a desk? Like, you need to get your license. We could partner up. And I'm like, I don't think so. Partnerships don't work. It's a bad idea. And everyone we talked to was like, no, don't do partnerships. Not a good thing. And so we heard about this class. It was actually the first step of Bold, but we didn't know what it was at the time. And we were told it was kind of like a Tony Robbins rah-rah class. And we went to it, and Cody Gibson was teaching it. I know you know who he is.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. People can't see you, Rachel.
Can't see me.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yes, they can. You're right here. What are you talking about? There's Rachel. See? Okay.
It chops my head off. Should I scoot back?
We're good. Before they couldn't see you. Okay, we're good. Keep going.
Okay. So, we went to Tony Robbins. We went to Bold, and Cody said this quote that kind of shifted my life. So at the time, I was married, and my husband was disabled vet. He had PTSD, and he wasn't working. So I was the only income, and I knew how much money was coming in every month, and it was safe and comfortable, right? Well, Cody says a quote that shifted everything for me. He said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. So the whole time I'm kind of coming from the scarcity mindset, thinking I can't quit my job because it's safe and I know how much money's coming in. But if you change the way you look at things, if you're commission-based, there's no cap on how much money you can make, and I could create my own destiny. And so I went in that day. It was January 26th of 2012, and I put my 2 weeks in. And we started at KW February 2nd, and didn't know what to do except to work really, really hard. So we went downstairs to the biggest REO agent in the office, and I'm like, really excited, and I have my business cards, and I'm like, I'm going to be a realtor. And so I go downstairs, and I knock on his office, and he opens the door, and I'm like, hi, John, my name's Rachel Adams, and I'm a realtor, and I'm so excited, and if I can just have you take me to coffee, then I would love to hear about your business. And he's like, wait, sorry, what? Like, why would I take you to coffee? It usually goes the other way around. I'm like, I get it. I can't afford a cup of coffee, but I promise.
It's like $3.
I know. Trust me, it was a dire time. I was like, if you take me to coffee, I promise at some point to pay it forward. So I do these things now. I call it coffee a week. So I do one coffee, a 20-minute coffee with a new agent once a week to kind of pay it forward because of what he did. But he told me, he's like, get ready for blisters. He's like, it's hard work, and I didn't have money for any advertising. So it was literally the whole first year was door knocking 200 doors a week and doing 3 open houses a week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday open houses. And we worked 7 days a week for the first 8 months, and eventually built up a database, which at the time I didn't even know what a database was.
That's unbelievable. I love that story. You couldn't afford coffee. I mean, I think that a lot of agents could really actually relate to that.
Yeah.
So you go into this guy's office and you're like, I would love for you to buy me coffee. Sit down. It's amazing.
It's like, okay, little blonde kid.
So then, all right. So let's talk about how you got into business with Matt and how your team, now you have expansion teams, right?
Yeah.
How many expansion teams do you have?
We've just one.
One,
We
okay.
actually had two, and then we got a really awesome slap of reality, and we're back to one.
Hey, look, sometimes you have to fail to grow even bigger.
I have so many life lessons, especially in real estate when it comes to failing forward. Matt and I like to say that we fail all the time and we fall flat on our face, but we just do it really quickly and get up.
Hey, you have to act like you did it on purpose,
Yeah, right.
So talk about the last 3 years and how how you and Matt just grew so quickly to this expansion team that's been doing so well for you.
Okay. Honestly, it's a lot of so the biggest thing I think for the two of us is, again, people said don't partner with anyone. So when we did decide to partner, and I'm a huge believer that partnerships need to happen organically. You can't go out and look for a real estate partner. I think it needs to happen kind of just because you're doing the right things and you meet someone else who's doing the right things and you go, okay, maybe this could work. So we literally sat down, made a circle, put a line down the paper and said, how many days are you planning on working? Okay, this many. How, what's your commitment level? What do you feel your strengths are? Okay, what do you feel yours are? So we each filled out this paper and then we put the sheet back together and we saw where our strengths were and where our weaknesses were and realized we both were 100% committed. So it's not the kind of thing where, he feels like I'm not working or I feel like he's not working. We just realized we have different, we call them our passion place. We have different places we like to play in our passion zones. And like, I'm a people person. I want to hug you. I want to talk to you. I want to listen to how you feel. And he's kind of like black and white. So not that he doesn't care how you feel, but he wants bottom line. Let's deal, I'll send you to Rachel. So I run the sales division for our team and all of our agents. And then Matt runs the investment division, but does all the accountability for our agents as well as our admin. So
Okay,
at this point,
everyone is hitting their goals, marks, and so on.
Yeah, totally. So the way our team works is we have 5 admin, and one of them is a VA. And so she's in the Philippines, and we have one who, Carla, she's kind of our anchor of our team. She actually just had a baby. So yeah, I know, she's sweet. So she's works her 5th kid, holy moly.
What?
Yeah, I know, and she's so sweet. So, and she still keeps my life together and has like babies crying on the side. She's like a freak of nature and amazing. But yeah, so we have quite a few admin on the team, and then each admin has their own spot. So we basically have different job descriptions for each person, and again, it's what they enjoy. We don't want someone working on the team doing something that they're not good at, and B, they don't enjoy. And then we have a full-time ISA, and Matt holds her accountable. So at 9 a.m., 5 mornings a week, they have a chat and kind of talk about her goals for the day, how many nurtures she's going to put in our pipeline, all of that. When a lead's converted, it comes to me. And then we have 5 agents locally, and then we have our expansion agent in the Bay Area.
Okay, so your expansion agent is it one agent or is it a team?
It's one agent.
Oh, one agent in San Francisco.
Yep.
Okay, you're in Rose.
Yeah, my market center's in Roseville, but I'm actually right now at my house in Folsom. So the way that our market center works in our area is there's tons of cities. There's Roseville, Sacramento, Rockland, Folsom, El Dorado Hills. Everything's within 20 to 30 minutes drive. So we are in Sacramento and Placer County. That's where we're the #1 team.
It's amazing. So I'm looking at the questions that I have for you here. So, okay, so what's the one thing that you wish you knew back then when you first started?
Yeah.
Okay, let me read my question again. What's the one thing that you wish you knew then that you know now that you think could have, well, you were successful from the get-go at 30 million deals, but, what's the one thing that you know now that you didn't know then that you wish that you had known when you first started into the business?
Honestly, don't compare your insides to other people's outsides. When I finally could afford to go to Keller Williams family reunion, because the first year I couldn't go, like when people are like, oh, I'm paycheck to paycheck, I was like a paycheck behind. So I'm borrowing money from everyone I know, my friends, my family, my nail lady, everybody. And when I got to go to Keller Williams, it was the second year we were in the company, I'm seeing these people on stage, and I'm like, oh my gosh, their life is so easy, and
you have like the best business. There's nothing.
Right, they're married happily, and they have this amazing business, and they're so balanced. And so I'm looking at these people on stage, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so far away from that. And now that I'm friends with those people that are on stage, they're in the exact same place that I am now. I mean, everybody, you know this, everybody has their issues in business. Everyone's dealing with conversion, with agents not, hitting their numbers, with, time blocking. My gosh, right? All of us. Like, that's
We're
such
gonna
a
get
big
into that
thing.
later because you have a great part in the book about your schedule. I think is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was gonna say that I think it's so important in the book when we get into it is so honest. And I was saying that when I first started to get to know you, it's only been a year. It feels like much longer, but not longer in a bad way. But I'm just saying, I feel like I've known you longer. You were a very closed. You weren't closed off, but you kept a lot of your personal experiences and your past to yourself. So when I started reading the book, I was like, wow, she's just letting it all out. And I think that's amazing. Sometimes writing a book is very therapeutic. To
be honest, like, it was social media, like, is a huge platform for me. So I have, I maxed on the friends for the 5,000, then I have, several thousand followers, and, considering doing a page and all that jazz. And I
hate when I max out on my friends. Why should I only have 5,000 friends? It's not
I know,
fair.
wait, Lotus, come on, Mark. And so, like, the thing for me was I would have people send me messages, and they were like, your life's so easy, your business is so great, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, do not. I believe in putting good things out there. I'm a very positive person. I look at life through solution-based lenses, so I'm always going to find the positive in a situation. But that doesn't mean that crap hasn't happened, and I haven't been, the gas tank story. It's like, there are things that have happened in my life that have shaped me where I am now. I'm not going to talk on Facebook about getting divorced. I'm not going to talk about these different things that happened, and yet they're really important because they've gotten me where I am now. And I have this, like, ridiculous drive within me, and it's because of the stuff I went through, because I knew that there was a place I wanted to go, and I knew that not reaching my goals was simply wasn't an option. And so I had to get really intentional about how I was spending my time, who I spent my time with, and making sure that, like, what I put on Facebook, I want to inspire other people. I want everybody to reach their best potential. So I talk about that. I talk about things that are great happening in my life. I don't believe in saying, like, oh, what a terrible day. Today sucks. My life's terrible. What bad weather. I got a flat tire. I'm like, okay, well, yes, I got a flat tire. And now I had an opportunity to talk to the tow truck guy about maybe he wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Like, you have to find the good in things. Like, it's, I don't know. And so the people that would private message me, I would let it, and they were like, I'm having a really hard time. I would talk to them about that's okay and relate to them, because it's not what you see on Facebook.
You know what I was gonna. Oh, go ahead.
No, just like the people that are smiling and all happy on Facebook, the, like, happy perfect couple, 5 minutes before they're probably in a fight. Like, everybody. What?
Like you and
No,
I?
Ryan and I are perfect. We never fight.
Okay, now it comes out.
If I told you what our fights were about, it would be hilarious.
By the way, David Fresquez is here, guys. I feel like David's just kind of. David, listen, if you have anything you want to say, jump on in. Tristan wasn't able to really make it today. He had, like, a family obligation, but that's okay. I just wanted to say that that story being real, and you're saying when you see all these people up on stage at family reunion or conferences, and they're just like, oh, I netted $1 million this year, and you never hear about deals falling apart. You never hear about their family, having issues, and yada yada yada. And it's really refreshing when a big agent actually comes forward and says, listen, guys, it's not easy. So, I've gotten to know the Lokins pretty well, and Karina Loken is just so down to earth and so truthful. And she spoke at our LCA event in Atlanta, and she told the story about how she and Lance literally, like, were like inches away from foreclosing on their home, And when you hear that story, I'm getting, like, chills, because she was very emotional, and, like, when you hear that story and then you hear how great they're doing, you're like, you know what? Yeah. Like, it's so refreshing to know that they were going through not like it's a good thing, but like everyone goes through tough times. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. So to hear that a mega agent has experienced, some hardship, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to sell real estate.
I don't know anyone that hasn't. I mean, I remember it was a panel I did in Philadelphia, and someone had asked me, like, what's the hardest thing that's ever happened to you in real estate? And I mean, obviously crazy lawsuits and people that have fake identities, that's just a day in the life, right? But for me, it was where I think I was maybe like 4 or 5 months into my career, and Matt and I just kept saying, one more deal and we'll be okay. One more deal and we'll be okay. And we're talking financially, right? And it was a Saturday morning, and I needed to get to a showing. And I walk out of my house, and I go into my car, and I turn my car on, and the gas light's on. And I know me. So I know if the gas light's on, it's been on for 2 days. And I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. I'm not, and the showing's like half hour away. So I went to my husband at the time, and I asked him if I could take his car. And I always took mine because it was kind of one of the nicer 2 cars. And he was like, well, babe, I've been riding the motorcycle because I don't have any gas in my car. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And every bit, account was on empty. There was no money in any of the accounts. We didn't have a savings because we didn't have the money to have a savings. And we went inside, and we're scrounging around our house looking for money. And I just remember thinking, are you freaking kidding me? This is so hard. And we ended up coming up with like $4 and some change. And we actually went on YouTube and looked up how to siphon gas from a motorcycle to get it to a car. Yeah. And I sat on the ground, and I just started crying. And I'm like, I never want to come back to this place. And so for me, that was my low. And thank God our neighbor saw me crying in the garage and might give us a 20. But it's like, to go from that spot where you are literally rock bottom, and you know what hard feels like, then to be in a place where you can, contribute back to others and donate to KW Cares and all the different things. It's like, that just makes you feel really good, and also makes you realize, like, the girl who didn't have $3 to go to coffee, life changes if you want it to. If you're committed and you know that, like, you're worth it, your goals are worth it, and you're crystal clear on your vision, you get to go there. You just have to work hard for it.
See, that's the really important that you just said, that your vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so many, like, there's a part in your book where you said, there was some study shown that people who actually write down their goals are more likely to achieve it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably not quoting it specifically, but you can get into it more later. And I really think that, I mean, even I'm a culprit for not writing down my goals, and I probably should. And I think some of it has to do with the fear of not getting there, and letting yourself down.
Yeah.
It's very important to have a vision and to write the goals down, and to motivate yourself, and to hold yourself accountable. Nobody else can hold you accountable better than yourself.
Right.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, I fully believe in investing in coaching and having, they say that you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So your 5 people should be doing what you're doing at a high level, and they should push you, and they should hold you accountable, and you need to be okay with them holding you accountable. Otherwise, they're not the right 5 people.
This is why David associates himself with me, right, David?
1,000%.
David, do you want to add anything for Rachel? You got any questions for her about real estate before I get to the next question?
I just, from the very beginning, you said there was just something missing, and I think you kind of elaborated on that earlier in regards to what was it that, made that declaration to change in that one moment. And I think that was a great example, what you just said.
Thank you.
So you guys go around the country. You and Matt have started to go around the country to different market centers to teach agents how to grow their business, right? So what are some of the tips that you guys discuss to show agents how to grow their business, that people who started out with no money for coffee, and they were able to pull themselves up and make something of themselves? What are some of the tips and techniques that you discussed at those talks?
So I'll give you 2. So one would be, I would say, in real estate, when you get into real estate, you are going to get people who call you and say, oh my gosh, for $5.99, I'll give you 40 leads a month. And then someone else is like, well, I specialize in short sales, and someone else does REOs. So when I got into real estate, everything that anybody told me they did, I'm like, I specialize in it. That's what I'm going to do too. So before I knew it, I was going to do REOs, short sales, door knock. I was going to do FISBOs. I was going to do expired calls. I was going to specialize. I mean, you name it, I specialized in it.
Wow,
and,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I know, jack of all trades, right? And it's the thing that really stuck with me is I've now taken Bold 6 times. That for non-KW agents, that's a really cool business and sales course through KW. It's sales and personal growth. It's a really neat class. And in it, they always talk about committing to mastery. And so I realize what I do is I literally stand in front of an agent and I take a chair. And I say, okay, how many legs are on this chair? And usually there's 4, right? If it's not a stool. And so I say, okay, think of your business like the legs of a chair. Pick 4 things that you're going to focus on. 4 things. That's it, right? So, Nick, for you, no question, one of your legs is going to be social media. It's going to be the things in the 4 things in your life.
I'm never really on Facebook, though.
Yeah, you have no presence. No one knows who you are. Lab Coat Agents. What? How many people are in this group now? Like 18,000?
Yeah, your calculations were off on that, and I'll let it slide this time.
What was it? Is it 19 or 20?
No, no, I'm just kidding. We're at 19,500. We'll be at 20,000.
Okay, I'll edit that later. This is also why I have 5 admin, because I don't pay attention to detail.
Look, it's fine. It's fine.
But if you want to talk about closing a deal all day long.
Okay, go.
So what you want to think about is you want to look at where your business is coming from. So if you could only focus on 4 things, what are those 4 things? Where are you getting your greatest return? One, non-negotiable for every single agent is going to be your database, your sphere of influence. That is your gold mine. I remember being at Expansion with Kristen Cole, and she called her database her data bank. And she said that it's a gold mine. And so you're going to have nuggets of gold, and you're going to have to consistently mine that database or that data bank to find those nuggets. And when you're consistent about it, you're going to get referrals. So database is one. Social media for me is absolutely another. So we teach a course on social media. That's one of the ones we travel and do. And of the 123 deals last year, 31 were closed from Facebook through referrals. I'm very intentional about my relationships on Facebook. I've got some amazing people in some of the different referral groups that always are really wonderful and tag me in the groups and, the posts and everything, and vice versa. And then whatever else works for you. So for us, one of our legs of the business is Matt's investment company, because he sends out about 4,000 to 7,000 mailers a month, and that either will be a flip that I'll relist, or if it doesn't work for the flipping division, it comes to me and I'll list it retail. So I think you have to get really crystal clear on what your 4 legs are. That's really important. Another thing is...
I'm writing that 4 legs thing down.
Good, yeah. Another thing is real estate is not easy. It's not. And you get beat up a lot. And I always say that real estate, you have the highest highs and the lowest lows, and usually within a matter of like 5 minutes, right? So, like, my deal closed, everything's amazing, I'm on top of the world, and then 4 deals fall through, a pipe burst at your property, and your home inspector didn't show.
That never happens to me. Everything's all fine and good.
Yeah, sunshine and roses. So what happened is, we had to get to a place where Matt and I, we wanted to have a reset. So we needed to have something that we could do that would reset our mood, because you don't want me angry. Let's just be honest. Like, I'm a happy girl, but if I'm not happy, it's not good for anybody. And
where's Ryan? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's in the other room.
Is that what happens when you get mad? Just like locked in the closet. Okay.
He never gets in trouble. He's perfect.
Okay.
So we had to come up with a reset for us. So what it was is we call it our 2 Ps. And what it is it's push-ups and prayer. So when I walk in the office and like he can tell my energy's off and just I'm funky and something happened, the first thing I get to do is so you've heard a 5-minute funeral. I get a 5-second funeral. I get 5 seconds to say what happened, get it out, be super negative, and then done. And then I drop to the ground and we do the first P, which is push-ups. And he and I, in our little rectangle office, we bust out 10 push-ups. And then we just get back up and we just pray for a second. And we just ask God to grant us the grace to kind of move forward and reset the day. So I think as realtors, to have some kind of reset, like Diana Kokoska, she talks about in her listing presentation, she would be driving there and she on the way, she's in the car and she's telling herself, I'm a great salesperson. I'm a great salesperson. I'm going to get this listing. I'm a great salesperson. And she would do this little action, right, like an anchor. And then when she's in the listing presentation, if,
Okay.
right, it was good, yeah. Everybody do that at home. So, if she's in the listing presentation, she feels like she's losing control of her audience, she would accidentally drop her pen, right? And then she would go down and grab her pen, and as she's grabbing her pen, she goes like this, I'm a great salesperson, right? And just affirms to herself, this listing is mine if I want it. And then that's her reset. She's back at the table, and she closes the deal. So I think to come up with some kind of a reset for yourself is really helpful and important.
So let's get. Hey, Dave, do you have anything to add?
No, that's great advice right there.
Okay, so let's get into the book.
Yeah.
I don't have any other way to segue into the book other than saying let's get into the book.
The book. We have the book.
Wow, you happen to have it right there. I have my copy.
I do. In case I needed it, I have it.
It's so profesh. All right, so listen.
It's weird that it's real. It's been this thing you've been working on for so long. It's crazy that it's like produced and published and.
Rachel's like, I'm writing a book. I'm like, no, you're not. And then it came in the mail. I was like, wow, I guess she really was. I want to talk about the book. First of all, let's talk about why you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Okay? You went from being such a private person to just putting it all out in this book. So why did you decide to do that?
So for me, it was I had no intentions of writing a book. I mean, I had the words author and a stack of books on my vision board in my office because I thought someday, pipe dream, it would be really exciting to write a book. And I actually thought it would end up being about Matt and my business and how we created the business. And what happened is I was sent to Keller Williams corporate, so KWI in Austin, to shoot a commercial with Nina about how the first time I took Bold in 2012, I took it super seriously. It shifted a bunch of things in my life, and I ended up losing 30 to 40 pounds. It was a big deal. And so this is now 3 years later, and they want to fly me out and talk about my morning routine, and they called it like Young and Hustlin' or something like that. And it was supposed to be about like showcasing what I do and how I lead my life and, success and health and wellness and all that. Well, the problem was this is now 3 years later. I had gotten a divorce. I didn't feel proud. I was proud of my business, but I wasn't proud of who I was. And I'm, now I'm walking into the gym where Nina trains Diana. I've never met Nina. Diana's my hugest mentor. I'm super excited, super nervous. And I had bought this dress that had like ruching on the side, sucking in. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And I walk in and I meet Nina, and she's just beautiful. And I sit down on this bench, and the camera crew's there. And she's talking to me about my career and how things have started. But she's not filming yet. And she starts to ask me how I feel. And I was like, I'm great, thanks. Like, the high-pitched voice. And she's like, oh, good. And so she's asking more questions. And then I said something else about real estate and shit. And how did you feel about that? And I was like, good, thanks. And in the back of my head, I'm like, why are we not shooting? Like, that's why I'm here. My makeup's on. Like, what's going on? And she ends up dismissing the camera crew. And she takes my...
go home?
Yeah, she's dismissed them. And she takes my hand, and she really gently lets me know that we're not going to be shooting that commercial. And I'm like, okay, why? And I later find out that Nina has a background in social work, and she really just kind of gets the human brain, and she knows things about people. She's real intuitive. And she took my hand, and she just said, I understand that we were going to be shooting a video about your health and your wellness, but I don't know if that's necessarily what we should be talking about right now. And I said, okay. And she said, what's been going on the last 3 years? And on this workout bench in the gym, I start crying. And I just tell her that I got a divorce and I haven't dealt with it. And I'm really good at my job, so I work all the time. But I forgot to put me first. I forgot even about me. And we had a really beautiful conversation. She sends me home, and I go home, and this is like November. And I cried for 2 days, and then realized that something needed to change. That I talk about, the weird thing is I'm literally traveling around the U.S. coaching people on how to build a business and work on their mindset. But what Nina called me out on was that my video wasn't matching my audio. I was saying I was leading a certain kind of life, but I wasn't actually doing the things I needed to do personally. I might have at one time.
Yeah.
And I had to get really real. So when I came home, I decided that I needed to shift my life. And I decided that I was going to do a 90-day commitment because I like to have structured goals and end date, start and an end date. So for 90 days, I was going to take out my two biggest distractions, which at the time was dating and drinking. And yeah, like cocktails, happy hour, real estate, right? And then hanging out with my friends. And I was wanting to be in a relationship. It had been, a couple years since I'd been divorced. And so I was just sort of like filling empty space with dating, but not having any depth or any real connection. And so I decided that what would life look like if I took out my two biggest distractions for 90 days and I just focused on being the best version of me. So all these amazing things shifted. We're now, I think I was 69 days into my program, my 90-day program, and I go to family reunion. And I see Nina, and I'm in a hallway, and I'm walking down, and I'm 25 pounds lighter at this time. And she's like, oh my gosh, what happened to you? And I said, you happened, and that conversation happened. And she said, we have to talk about this. And to get like 10 minutes with Nina is impossible. And
before we go on, we got to say who Nina is. She helped you write the book.
Yeah.
She is Nina Heller. She's Chris Heller's wife, the CEO of Keller Williams. I personally have never met her. I hope to meet her soon. But she's a health and fitness and expert and she just has a background in social work, correct?
Yeah, so she basically is a health and wellness coach who is also a therapist. So when she's working with you, she's physically touching you and connecting with you and does these amazing things with, if you're standing in a certain way, it'll be something that she can relate back to something that happened to you previously, and it's been setting the rest of your life on a certain course. And she's just amazing. So we end up setting an hour call time once a week for 2 months. And for 2 months, we just talk. And she had said, do you think that you could pinpoint all these different things that changed for you? And I said, I think so. She ends up flying me down to her and Chris's beach house in San Diego for 4 days. She took 4 days off. I took 4 days off, which I don't even know the last time I did. And we just decide that, so my 12 things ended up becoming 12 chapters. So first we were going to do an ebook and just kind of have a Facebook page and like an ebook. And then she said, Rachel, I have 25 years of experience that I wanted to share with people, and I've been waiting for a person to come into my life to make this happen. So the 12 ideas turned into 12 chapters. And then we realized that there was gold here. And so then we said, what if we had a full program that people could follow? So there's the book, and then there's also the 90-day challenge.
I'm going to show everyone the website in a second, but what I love about the book, because I've had my hands on it for a few weeks, I love that in each chapter, it's your story, and then on the second half of the chapter is called Nina's Knowledge, and it's kind of Nina throwing in her expertise, kind of analyzing what you just talked about in a sense.
Yeah.
So you are like the every person, and then the expert comes in and discusses it from her point of view, and I think it's a really nice contrast. And there's 3 chapters in the book that stick out most to me as a real estate agent. Chapter 2 is distractions, because everyone's got distractions that keep them from doing what they should be doing to make them more productive. Chapter 3 is planning and implementing your day, which I think if people can see your schedule, I mean, it's so diligent, and I know that you're keeping to it. Clearly, you wrote this book, so you're definitely right. And then chapter 10, your goals and lists, where you talk about. Hold on, I have my little Post-it notes. The different lists that you make: your dream list, your joy list, and your gratitude list. Tell me what your dream list is, real quick. To differentiate those for me, real quick.
So your dream list is so your joy list, right? It's your happiness. It's what makes you happy. I think to figure out like ultimate happiness. So the book is called From Lost to Found in 90 Days. Journey.
Here it is, guys.
Your journey to self-discovery and ultimate happiness. And go to the chapters. Can you show them the chapters?
Yeah.
Thank you. So if you read them, so we have your story and your big why, your 2 distractions, your day planning and implementing, your water, your nutrition and fuel, your exercise and sleep, your mindset and body posture, your journal, your relationship standards and allies, your goals and lists, your spirituality and meditation, your quiet time and self-love. So Thank you. So the whole idea behind the book is, you know, the reason we wrote this was because there's so many people out there that close their eyes and they just want more. Like they're stuck. They know that there's somewhere they should go and things they want to achieve, but they don't know how to get there. And I just happen to be a person who shares. And I went through a pretty difficult transition or a difficult time that I wasn't willing to address. And then when I wanted to make a big shift in my life, I had to get really clear on what happiness looked like to me. So the reason that each of those chapters go through, you know, your water. It's one, like water. Give me, like, why would water have an entire chapter?
You wear the water bottle. So.
I know. It's because of this.
Yeah, totally.
It's such a foundational piece that you don't think about, but, you know, if you wake up in the morning and the very first thing you do before your 2 feet hit the floor is you have a glass of water, you're rehydrating your body. So you're making a good decision from the very second you wake up, the very second you open your eyes. And, you know, it's just, there were little things that we figured out that we could do and that shifted in my life that we wanted to share. And so the way that the chapters work, like Nick said, is the first part is Rachel's journey. So it's why I went through what I went through. The second part is Nina's knowledge, and it's done kind of in a workbook style. Nick, can you go to one of the chapters where it shows kind of Nina breaking down like a graph or something?
Yeah, so
the workbook style, it's for the reader to be able to really answer the questions, because this isn't about me. This is about your journey. This is about you going through each one of those items in the book and figuring out how you're going. Oh, yeah, that's the perfect day.
This is good. There's a lot, like, you know, there's a lot of things for you guys to actually, you use the book as a workbook and put your schedule in there.
And at the last couple pages of every chapter in your journal, your thoughts and notes. And there's tough questions. It's not easy. I mean, the reason it's designed as a 90-day program is because every week is dedicated to one chapter. You read the chapter and then you time block and you take time to answer the questions. We have book clubs on Facebook. We also have the 90-day challenge that Nick is actually in right now.
I love this. The grocery list is so cool.
Yeah, your clean eating grocery list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the idea behind it is, you know, the hardest chapter for me to write, and probably the most important, was chapter 9. And for me, that was your relationship standards and allies. And that's where I finally admitted to everyone that I had gotten a divorce and that it was really difficult, but also that it was okay. I remember, my parents have been married like 38 years. My dad calls my mom his bride. They're super in love. And so when I got married, I thought you marry one person, that's it. Life is perfect. You're the princess. He's the prince. Blah, blah, blah. And that's not real life. And life is hard. And marriage is hard. And I didn't know what I didn't know. I just thought we looked good in pictures, so we should definitely tie the knot. And, like, you know, I started a real estate career, and he wasn't working, and all these different things changed. And what happened for me is I actually took time and I made a list of all the things that I wanted in a partner. I always like my goals, right? You know, I'm super goal-oriented in business. I know exactly where I'm going to go and how I'm going to get there. But I've never done it for my personal life. So I sat down and I said, what character traits matter in a person? Like, what actually matters? And then next to each word, I wrote a paragraph about what it meant to me. And at the time, I thought I was just sort of like getting, you know, clarity on what I wanted in my next boyfriend. But really what it ended up being is I was setting a standard for the kind of person I wanted to be with and the kind of standards that I would uphold for myself. And so there's, like, you know, a sense of community, intimacy, communication, gratitude, pastimes, like all these things that you don't think, leaving a legacy. Like, there's things you don't think about, and they matter, and these big questions matter. So chapter 9 for people, if you're married or you're in a relationship, it'll get you even more clarity on how to strengthen it. And if you're single, it's kind of a blueprint for you to figure out, like, the next step, because the one thing I think I didn't realize is I cannot give myself to someone else and be the best realtor I can be for my clients and be the best business partner I can be for Matt and be the best girlfriend I can be for Ryan unless I'm really happy with who I am. And so many people, especially in real estate, we don't come first. I don't even know if we're on our list. It's like, you know, my clients, like, I got to answer my phone at 9 o'clock at night because I don't want to miss the deal. I got to make sure, you know, I got to, you know, do everything for everybody else, your kids, your wife, everything else, and you forget about you. But if you don't work, if you're not taking care of you and your vessel and your health, you're not going to reach your goals, because if you're sick lying in a bed, you can't close the deal anyways, you know? So it was a really big aha for me to realize, like, I need to just take a step back and slow down and look at my business small and look at my life small and go, what actually makes me happy? And so chapter 10 that you were talking about with the lists,
Yeah.
it's my happiness list. It's like, what makes me happy? And so I would write all the things that made me happy. And I have examples in the book of like my list. And then I say, how many of these things am I actually doing? And it's hard. Some of the questions are really hard because you realize you are so far off from who you want to be. And yet we've created a 90-day path for you to get there.
So I'm going to show everyone the website because people are asking me where we can get the book. So I am going to...
We have a discount too. We'll give you guys at the end.
Yeah, we're going to get a discount. So I'm going to share... Hold on, bear with me, guys.
Okay. Do you want me to explain the program while you're looking?
Yeah, so let's kill two birds with one stone.
Cool.
Hold on. Here we go.
So, okay. So that's the website.
Yep,
And then you can...
it's Lost to Found 90.
It's Lost to Found. Yeah, Lost the number 2, Found the number 90.com.
And this is a fun picture with Rachel and Nina on the beach.
We did photos in San Francisco, San Diego, Sacramento. Nina came here. I went there. It was a pretty crazy ordeal.
This was the video we showed. All right, so it's a book, but it's also a program.
Yeah. So I would say the book's a great tool to have, but I think the magic really happens with the program. So the way the program works is there's a bunch of pieces to it. So every Monday, it's a 90-day commitment, and every Monday you're sent an inspirational guidance video, and it's basically Nina and I talking about the chapter and kind of, almost coaching you through what you're going to go through, talking about some experiences. In one of the chapters, we talk about how to get six-pack abs while you drive. I mean, lots of different little tricks and things that are important, but it's funny because the dynamic between Nina and I'm like in full hair and makeup and, dresses, and Nina lives in workout clothes. And, it was an amazing experience. So the videos are a really important part. You get one sent to you every Monday, and with that video, you also read the book that week. So you read the chapter and you watch a video, and they obviously are, I think right now in the group we're on chapter, we are on chapter 1. This is our first week reading. So we're on chapter 1. They have the video, they have their book, and one of the best parts is we have a 90-day Facebook accountability group. It's a challenge group, and every single day for 90 days there's a post made in the group, and it's a post that gauges information and interaction and feelings, and it's people, they're connecting, and the camaraderie and the conversations that happen in this 90-day group are amazing. And you have these beautiful people that are all going through a difficult journey and committed to becoming the best version of themselves. There's also an app. The app, you can track your water, your foods, your workouts. You have an online journal you can write in. You take a picture at day 1, 30, 60, and 90 for progress pics, and you get a graduation certificate at the end, so you can see all the amazing things you've changed in your journey. We have meal plans, clean eating grocery lists, and then Nina and I actually did some workout videos for you. They're little 4-minute videos. One's for your abs, one is for your legs and booty. So just little things. And then you also get a t-shirt. That's always a good thing.
Oh, I love my t-shirt.
The men's shirt is so soft. I sleep in the guy's shirt. It's so soft.
Listen, so I got the list earlier. Can I show everyone the list?
Yeah, of course. The clean eating grocery list?
Yeah, so I downloaded the list, and it's kind of cool. I printed it out, bring it to the grocery store with you.
Yeah, and the member website, I don't know, have you gone on the member website at all, Nick?
Yes.
So the member website is
I know, I got to sign in and make my account. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The member website's really cool because we have all these downloads. We have we have the clean eating grocery list. We have how to dress for your body type, because a lot of people's bodies are going to be changing, so it's important they know how to dress. We have sample meal plans. We have the sample schedule for them of how to plan their perfect day, and we have auto filled in for them where they're drinking their water, because water is really important.
By the way, I drink sparkling water. This is seltzer.
Good, that has no sugar.
And no sugar. Delicious. Hey, can I ask you if there's anything on the website that I didn't show. Like, where can they go and buy the book, and where can they?
Yeah, so go back to the website real quickly.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on.
So our next challenge group, our 90-day challenge groups, is starting February 1st, and we are doing a discount for Lab Coat. So the book, if you go in and, yeah, go ahead and click on Buy Now.
Look at all these fun things I can buy.
Yeah, right? And there's actually L2F90 swag coming up. We have like cell phone cases and water bottles and all kinds of cool stuff. So if you click on the program.
So click on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the difference between these two?
One is if you want to gift it, so if you're buying it for someone else. So some people are buying it for themselves and want to buy it for someone else. So the L2F90 program, you guys are getting $50 off the program. So you would go in, and when you go to, you'd hit purchase, and then you'll get the book, you'll get the 12 inspirational guidance videos, you get access to your online community, you get the cell phone app, and then you also get the t-shirt sent to you. And the next group starts February 1st, and I'm assuming we'll have a lot of lab coat agents in there. Right now we have some amazing killer agents in our one right now. We actually planned on capping it at 40, but we had so many we had to cap it at 65, so we've been filling up the February group right now. And your discount codes, I think we're going to put them at we'll include it in the link below when we post it, but I believe it's LCA, let's see, the program is LCA program.
Hold on, it's LCA.
You have it, don't you?
Yeah, I have it. Hold on a second. It's LCA. I'm going to post it in the group anyway, but it's LCA LCA 20. So it's a LCA 20. Oops, wait a minute.
Nope, that's for the book.
No, that's just for the book?
Yeah, so you get 20 okay, so the way we're working this is
I got it.
And you're listening to this webinar, you'll get 20% off the book, and you'll get $50 off the program. So the program is $4.95 right now. It's on special, and you'll get $50 off that. And if you buy the book solo, because you're not quite ready for the program yet, then you would read the book on your own. You can engage with the just the regular Facebook page online, and then you would do LCA 20, and then that would give you the percentage off.
It says invalid, but
cool. I think it was book. I think we changed it, but regardless, we'll get it for them.
What is it? LCA what?
I think it's LCA book.
That's a great deal.
Thank you.
Well, that worked.
Yeah, So there you go, 20% off.
Okay, so LCA books and you save $7. Nice.
So the whole point of this is, I mean, there's so many, as realtors, we forget to put ourselves first, and everything else tends to come first. And you know, whether you want to lose 20 pounds, or you want to figure out how to time block your day better, or you want to, you know, get a better relationship with your spouse, or you want to find a relationship. I mean, it's just about figuring out what truly, truly makes you happy, and then helping you find a path on how you're going to get there.
I love it, Rachel. You know, my biggest problem is, like, it's so hard for me to find time to read. I mean, I got an 8-month-old and a 3.5-year-old who's a complete maniac. And then, you know, by the time I get home from work, I put them to bed, and then I want to spend time with my wife. But I'm going to make it a point, you know, because I've been trying to keep up with the program as much as I possibly can. And you're going to put me into the next. Yeah,
group. So next is going to be in February 1st with all of you who are joining. So
she put me in the last group, but it was tough for me to get. Look, I'll admit it. It was tough for me to get started.
It's completely okay. This is the deal. Like, everyone is going to have hard times, right? And you're going to be able to make excuses sometimes. And at some point, you're going to get to a spot where you're like, I'm done making excuses. I have to make me a priority. I'm not happy. I'm not being the best husband I can be. I'm not being the best father I can be. I'm not being the best realtor I can be. Like, that's where I got to. I'm like, I have good friends and good family, and I have a good company, but I'm not happy. When I go home at night, something is missing. So I had to find out what it was. And, you know, the way that the program's designed, it's you have all week to do it. So Monday, you get the videos and you have that chapter. And so you have all week to read your chapter. The only daily commitment you really have is to go on Facebook once a day and go into your Facebook challenge group and answer the question. Today, it's you pick 5 people in your life you want to inspire, and then you take one person and you send them a special message. So it's just little things, but they're things that really, really matter and help other people. I mean, there's a ton of people out there who want more for their life, and so we've created a community where everybody can come together and support each other.
Hey, Rachel, I'm just going to I'm going to show everyone what you posted in the group today. Is that cool?
Yeah, as long as you keep the people's comments private.
Yeah,
Put your hand over the screen or something.
You did this right here. Yeah, I'm not going to show anyone's comments.
Cool.
I'm just going to show this. Right here, right? You posted this today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an example of you know, every day you go in the group and you post something that has to do with the challenge, and it comes from the book, correct?
Exactly. The questions actually don't come from the book, but they work with the book because people are reading the chapters. And then every Friday we all share our chapter aha. And so we talk about, you know, what you've experienced, and because, you know, some of these questions are tough. And I mean, we've had some people in the group already say they're having breakdowns. I've had, you know, one person in the group let me know she can't do it right now, and that's okay because this isn't easy. But yet, what is easy? The good stuff is worth fighting for, and you're worth fighting for. And I think that's the thing, is people forget how important their health is and their time is, and like time blocking. The reason why time blocking's in here for me, and there's a whole chapter on your day planning and implementing, was because people need to know how to prioritize what is the best use of time in there, what isn't. We hear about the 80-20 rule, but what does that actually mean? How do I figure out what is the highest and best use of my time? So there's an exercise in the book that actually teaches you how to figure out the best use of your time.
Rachel, I think that this has been pretty amazing. It's even gotten me really motivated.
You're ready to commit February 1st?
Yeah, I'm really going to commit February 1st.
You guys all heard it, and if he doesn't, we're holding you accountable. Actually, not if you don't. There's no ifs, because you're going to do it.
Hold on a second, but we'll be at family reunion. What about when we're at family reunion? Oh, no, then I'm really accountable because you're right there. You're going to be.
I'm in front of you, and I'm going to introduce you to Nina, who's going to let you know how excited she is you're doing the program February 1st.
Oh,
I don't want to disappoint 2 people.
And Tristan and David.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Tristan's going to do it. And Rachel will be at our big LCA event in New Orleans, so you'll get to see her there, and we'll have lots of her books on hand so you can take a look at them and read them and all that good stuff. Rachel, it's awesome. I know that there were like 1 or 2 questions I didn't get to, but you know, I want to leave something to the imagination. But the knowledge that you shared with us, and just like the insight and your goals and your motivation. I mean, I didn't even show your schedule. It's so tight. It's unbelievable, like how you stick to your schedule. And
don't think that I mean, not every day is perfect, right? So this is the goal, and this is the intention, and it doesn't always work as planned. Yeah. Okay, so this is so hold it for just a second here. So this is a really cool thing for you guys. So if you notice, all of my appointments are blocked in hour-and-a-half appointments. So on my actual calendar on Google, because I just use Google Calendar, I have everything done by an hour-and-a-half because that's how long it includes drive time for me to get to an appointment. So I know what time I wake up. I know what time I'm going to do. Like, I pretty much stick to this as much as I can. But the important things you'll see is my hour-and-a-half appointment. So say 1:30 to 3 is open. It's an hour-and-a-half, right? I'm going to fill that with a client. And if I don't have a client appointment, it is my job to get a client appointment. And if I can't get a client appointment, then I am working on getting more client appointments. So I know my job. I know my purpose. I know what my numbers are. And then the other thing I think that's really important is to time block an hour before bedtime, the no technology time. Because I know for me, my wind down time used to be e-news, People Magazine, Facebook, Lab Code Agents, right? So I'm looking at all these different social media platforms, and all that does is it gets my mind racing. I'm thinking about, offer I need to write, a conversation I didn't have, a comment I forgot to respond to, and Instead, I have 1 hour of no technology time before bed, and I truly let myself wind down. I can journal in that time. I can have a conversation with Ryan. We talk about our goals. We talk about a trip we want to go on. You deserve to connect with the people in your life that matter. If you're not going, if you don't have someone in your life, then call a friend. People in your life deserve your full attention. And I, for so long, did not get that. I was the girl sitting at the dinner table with my girlfriends with my phone. And I'm like, what? Yeah, totally. And nobody deserves that, So it's just getting really clear.
I could talk to you for hours on that. I mean, my wife,
everybody,
she loves lab coat agents and hates lab coat agents because I'm more attached to my phone.
Yeah.
But it's something that we're working on, and I think once I get into the book, it's going to definitely help with that because it's going to be really eye-opening. So listen, we got to wrap it up because it's after 10 o'clock here in New Jersey. And,
it's only 7 here. My night's just starting.
I know the party's just starting. You're going to drink another bottle of water. It's going to be nuts.
It's going to be crazy.
Water on the rocks. Are you drinking Evian? You going to get a little fancy tonight? Okay.
Nope, I'm drinking a little TJ, a little Trader Joe's with electrolytes.
Ooh, I'm going to drink some $2 Chuck.
Right?
So,
that's a whole nother story.
That's
water. Another video.
It's fruit. Listen, it was awesome. Thank you so much. I love you, and I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. So just for everybody who is interested, the next group does start February 1st. We are filling up. We're maxing this group at 40 people, and then the next group can be 40. So we can do more than one group in February, but there's only 40 people per challenge group. That's kind of the sweet spot. So if you want to do the program, you guys get $50 off, and I believe it's LCA program is the
So the program discount is LCA program promo code, and then I'm going to write that because I have to put it in the... And then the book is LCA book promo.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and so you go to lost, the number 2, found, and the number 90.com. And I'll post that all in the group, so don't worry. It's all going to be there for everyone who, isn't paying attention. But everyone is, or else...
There's fun color pictures, too. It's not a boring book where you're going to be bored.
Yay.
There's lots of cool pictures.
Basically, what we learned from this interview is Rachel and Nina like to go to the beach a lot.
We do. And right after that photo is taken, it's like water all over our face. It was awesome.
I want to see the outtakes. Okay, listen. Thank you so much. It was so amazing, and I appreciate you taking the time. And everyone's going to love your book, just like I do. And Tristan and I and David are going to do the program, and we promise you. Right, David? Yeah. Awesome. All right, Rachel, you can let Ryan out of the closet now.
I will. Oh, goodness, I hope not.
Wait, hold on. The literal closet.
Right, okay. Yeah.
All right, Rachel, thank you.
All right, you guys, thanks for having me, Nick. I appreciate you all. Bye, Tristan. Bye.